Well, I got the Corvette back to the old homestead. There she is. But I'm gonna clean out the garage a bit here. Get in here, catty corner, do some working. I guess it wouldn't be a classic car show without a classic punch list. So let's write some stuff down. First and foremost, of course, is the braking. The braking is dookie. So pretty sure that's going to be the brake booster, the rough idle, oil, and the transmission fluids, heater core line that was kinked. What else? Vacuum leaks, all thread for the air filter, AC lines. I need to put some O-rings on the new fittings we put on because the old ones exploded while they were out driving one day. The RPM gauge is broken. The little needle broke off. Shocks, maybe a battery tender, or just find a new, I guess it doesn't matter where the power source is for it. It's going to be drawing power to keep the memory of the Vette system. So maybe just a battery tender. Make that a 4-piece tender. Nope. 8. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 things so far. Not bad. The biggest is going to be the brake booster, oil trans, heater core line, AC O-rings. Yeah, so it's really just kind of like 4 things. Oh, and I'm gonna vacuum out the inside because it's pretty gross and it just stinks. Kind of. So another new development. I was looking at this diagram here and I was vacuuming this thing out and I realized it was moving around in there. So I figured, what's under there? Well, that's probably the jack. And yeah, it's the jack and water and rust from the jack, not from the fiberglass, obviously. Mop it out with a towel. It's another project. Since I'm going to be working in here, and I got this deck lid, kind of like the battery compartment one, where it doesn't really stay up, I figured I'd use my brain and just remove these 3 screws. Oh, whoop-ah. Oh my gosh. Look at that. I guess I'll kind of sop this up. Hey, you reckon that's a spare key? Is that just for the door? Is that for the ignition? I don't know. Kind of cool though. Little treasure. Bringing the shine right back to it. I get excited about my water displacement. Now what was I actually about to start on? Because I said, let's start with, pretty sure it was like taking the tires off and lifting this thing up to get to that heater core. But I got a little ADD distracted. But I did fix this seat I put the screw back in there so it's not bouncing anymore. So that's cool. I guess we're gonna go ahead and loosen these up. We'll get the car lifted up, get it supported with some jack stands, get this wheel off, mess with those broken AC lines, and then that heater core line. This big bad boy, maybe use that to catch the coolant that comes out of that line, if it does. Let's find the correct size for that. I'm assuming it's a 19 because 19 is what was fitting the jack, and the lug wrench is for the lugs. So yes, it is a 19. I'm not gonna go all ugga-dugga on this one just because, you know, the chrome does get you home in this case because it's the lug nuts. So I'm just gonna do it by hand the old-fashionable way. Ah! Oh my Jesus. Let's go with a bigger wrench. More power. And be sure to always lift directly with your spine. Yeah, there it is. Oh, that's crafty. Oh, yeah. Nice. Make sure you catch like fuel lines and brake lines while jacking. Don't leave them out of the equation. They want to be a part of this too. I'm gonna move this to the front. All right, we're gonna go under the shock strut, I guess. Sure. Huh. I got sidetracked once again. I saw this random vacuum line just kind of chilling with the little T thing hanging out here. I was like, oh, what's that for? What is that plugged into? Oh, nothing. It's nothing. So, and it's plugged into the other side over here into something. So I'm kind of just curious to see what that something is, and I'm pretty sure that's just the old vacuum lines for the headlights. Yeah, that are now motorized. Some more old headlight vacuum lines. Ah. Another one. Gonski. Okay. Moving back on to the wheel that I was going to take off. Now y'all pay attention to which lug went where, because they go in a very specific order. So pay attention. Oh, there's a lot of meat on the pads. So that's good. The world's tiniest little Carter pin holding that on. So they got one bleeder up here. Zero play. If you haven't noticed, I'm just kind of also exploring as I'm going, just seeing what else I can bring to light. Kinked hose. I don't even know if y'all can see that. Huh. I reckon I'll use the right angle flathead screwdriver because I don't know how else they got this on here. There it goes. See if we slide it down here. Sure enough. I'll just put it back on the thing. So let's go ahead and take that one off. Ouch. So I got that hose out of there. I guess I'll just go to the store and see about, well, not now, because it's like 10 p.m. And see about finding an elbow for this. I'll elbow that on there. I'll probably end up just cutting this, putting it in there, making an elbow, and then feeding it back through. Undo this AC line as best as I can. It's kind of crammed up in here. Shouldn't be any pressure on it because there's no O-rings. And then we got this big burly son of a gun up here to get to. Right there. I got good old-fashioned channel locks on there. And busted a knuckle. So let's see if I can do this by hand from here. Alright, let me get this loosened. I'll be right back. I got the AC line off of there. I'm gonna need to get an O-ring to go over this little lip right here. Alright, we're back at it again. I got the O-rings for the AC lines, and then I got my janky little elbow hooked up for the heater core, so it's not sitting in there all kinked up. This is in fact the heater core line, so I mean, we're good. And look at that, worked like a charm. So you just slide the heater hose through there, and it keeps it from vibrating and coming in contact with the belt. Under the AC, and then right into the water pump. I got my O-ring. I don't have like silicone or whatever, so I'm just gonna use a little bit of lube to put it on there. You never want to put an O-ring on and tighten it down dry on any application. You always want to have some kind of lubricant on it, motor oil, silicone, PV blaster, whatever. Again, you don't really want to over crank on that. Now remember, these have to go back in the same order that you took them off, because they're very thread specific. So make sure you're paying attention. So loud. Drink up, little buddy. All right, she should be semi-full-ish now. Once we get the engine running, we'll let it go through the system and check it again later. Well, I guess enough prolonging the agony. I'm gonna have to dig into this dash to get up underneath the pedals, behind the AC vent, up to the firewall to see about getting 4 bolts undone so it can disconnect the brake booster. So I guess just a quick update as to where I am. I got 3 of the nuts off the brake booster. Obviously I got the RPM gauge and the speedo out. So that's where I'm at. And then I started to disassemble whatever this is. So it has some carriage bolts that go through the top here. There was one here and one here, and the same on the other side. So I'm going to attempt to slide this out to try to gain access to try to gain access to the fourth brake booster bolt. I got my socket, extension elbow, ran under that loom, over this piece of metal, straight back, and I had to feel my way onto the nut. I'm assuming I'm on it, so I'm gonna hook my baby Ugga Dugga up to it and send it. So I finally got all of them loose. Is it even in here? Yes, the nut's in there. And I disconnected the little safety clip pin and the pin through the brake lever. So in theory, yep, we're loose. So I'm gonna crack this loose and this loose off the master cylinder and be able to extract the booster. These nuts are on here pretty secure. So I think it's a 9/16. I hit it with some PB. Let's see if I can do the extension trick here. Yeah, more leverage, more better. There we go. Gets them every time. 60% of the time, it works every time. So this way, you don't have to bleed the brakes and bench test the thingy-majiggy master cylinder. Alright. So let's see if we can go ahead and extract this here. And there it is. Crusty old brake booster that is in fact no longer boosting. Brake booster finally came in a few days ago. I was just checking it out, making sure we got the correct one, because you know, I've heard stories about the shaft being wrong, and then even this bit right here being recessed instead of, you know, shooting out like it's supposed to, like the original. And then it came with the setup tool, master cylinder, brake booster. Slide this into your master cylinder, get your reading where it touches. Do this up to your brake booster, make sure that's fully seated, and it touches. It actually came just set like that. I mean, what? Pretty cool. So this here came from Zip, and Corvettes are all we do. So Zip products out in Virginia, zip-corvette.com, where they got the phone number there. So yeah, came with the tool. This is the pin for the brake. This is the little clip that slides over that pin, and then the 4 bolt nuts for the inside. And then it came with the 2 nuts already on here. And it came with the check valve. I thought I was going to have to reuse my old check valves. I you know, all the old hardware, I kept all that. Also, it came with a gasket on it. But we're going to try to give it a whirl and see what it does. So you line this up to where the vacuum It's facing towards the carburetor. And I'm gonna kind of push this out the way and kind of push this into here. Ouch. All right. Get that slid down in there as best as we can. All right, I'm gonna kind of like leave it like that right there. And let's go take a peek inside. Okay, cool, I got it. Actually, it's hard to get in there, but yeah. So I actually got the pedal lined up in there. I'm gonna go push it in a little more. Okay, so that was kind of a pain in the butt to do, just to get that little lock rod and clip on there. Ended up using a very long of Pittsburgh Harbor Freight pliers. They have just a slight curve in the nose. The 4 bolts, it turns out these are a 9/16 socket. So in case you're wondering, a 9/16. Okay, I got it on. Alright, before I commence to button everything back up, I figured I should probably give it a test. Where I put the keys? Keys. Never mind. The keys are in there. Fuel on, fire. Y'all feel that? That feels so much better. Actually getting full pedal action now. That's great. I think the brake booster swap out was a success. Another way to test it is you pump it till it gets hard, and then you hold it there, and then when you turn the key on, yep, and then your foot goes down a little bit further. Your foot will sink down a little bit further. That's that vacuum getting created in there. And that brake booster is helping boost the brakes. All right, I call that a success. Sounds good too. So now I just gotta put all this back together and we're ready for a rip. Boy, I tell you what, that took some ingenuity, the little engine that could, and engine in my hands, but we just about got it. Forget the brake booster being the hardest part. This dash section here, oh my God, no thank you. That little bridge thing, and then that one screw over there, got her all buttoned up. Did it take a whole lot longer than I wanted to? Yup. Got the Vette system tucked away in the corner here. The Bluetooth assist, USB assist. Brake check test. Alright, here we go. Reverse. Ooh. Alright, brakes work. Oh, brakes work good. 1 foot in it. Drive. Oh yeah, that is some good working